you know what? I'm actually curious about this because you know what? This doesn't actually. I didn't even know this existed until she told me. But
really?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry. Like, hey, like, but what are your thoughts on assisted suicide? Should people with a terminal illness have the right to die on their terms?
What they basically do is the doctors, they take you in for some states, they have variations and they take you for evaluation. Basically, you describe the doctor, oh, I have this terminal illness, I'm not going to live so and so date. And what the doctor does, he basically evaluates, yes, my patient, he's not going to live that long, he's not going to live a comfortable life, it's going to be painful. So what they do is they agree with the government or the state, depending on how they ever write the law, and they get approval from the government to actually put down the person through sedative means. So basically what they do is they give them a cocktail of I think it's painkillers, right, Justin? It's a amount of painkillers, and then it's a certain chemical that actually kills you.
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of suicide, or I mean, I guess the assisted suicide.
Yeah.
Especially it gets more tricky depending on what type of illness that you're trying to get it worked for. Like if it's
like from my research, they actually like counsel you and like tell you about these drugs and the lethal dose that you have to take in order to, off yourself or whatever.
Yeah. So, and then what they do is everyone agrees upon it, and then basically give you an option. You got the choice to do in hospital care, which is basically you're going to be in hospital the whole time before they do the actual procedure and they actually put you down. Some states are more lenient and they actually allow for home care, where you can go home, be with your family, your loved ones in that your last home environment before you finally go.
And they just is taking you to Harlem.
Hey, I wish. I'll go.
Yeah, in Canada, it's actually illegal, like across the country. It's called euthanasia, but it's illegal in Canada. So
I was just saying, there's also a really great movie if you want to go into this subject. It's called Mar Adentro, or The Sea Inside, from Spain. It's a really great film that discusses this topic particularly. So
to go off of that, Justin, actually, Adrianne actually recommended another one too that actually goes into this topic, and she said it was called How to Die in Oregon, and it's actually an HBO documentary that covers the same type of subject matter. And it actually talks about how like Oregon was the first state to actually, say that this type of practice is actually legal. And so she said recommend to watch it if you're actually fascinated about this subject matter. But what do you guys think about this? Like, do y'all think this should be legal?
Personally, I think that it should be. I think that like someone dying or taking their own life is never an easy thing to do, so it's never a black and white issue. But I think at a certain point where if your patient is in a situation where they're in a coma, they're going to die anyway, and they're suffering, for instance, I think giving them that choice is something that should at least be on the table. You shouldn't take that away.
I'm actually glad to hear that this is just for people with terminal illness, because I thought this was like something that anybody can like just sign for. But, I'm glad that it's actually strict like that. And in that sense, I agree that everybody.
And specifically, there's a whole thing about the doing it against people's foreknowledge. I think isn't that the whole thing what Dr. Kevorkian was all about, where he was offering like illegal assisted suicides that were kind of it was pretty much serial killing.
Well, it was only serial killing because he was taking out so many patients, but all his patients were either terminally ill or had a disability where they were not going to be functional in life at all. So they were either going to kill themselves through a natural, slow process, or they were going to do it violently.
I think that people should have the choice to decide how they want to go out if they're really sick and they just feel like they're in agony and they just can't take it anymore. I don't know. I think it's selfish for people to want to keep people alive, like for other reasons. And if that actual person wants to go and they feel more at peace if they just leave, let them do it. I mean,
the thing is, like, I think that's the situation, like, not just for terminally ill people, but like just in general. Like, I know, suicide awareness, that's a thing, and we want people committing suicide. But it's like, if you really, really want to go, though, like, almost like, when you start a game, you want to save it, and it's like, you sure you want to overwrite it? Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, just do like 3 of those. And if they say yes every time, it's like, you know what? I think you've earned it. I mean, let's go ahead and
I actually agree with you, Nick.
That's how you become Jewish. I'm not even kidding. You gotta have
They brought that up in Orange is the New Black. You have to say no. They ask you 3 times, and you're supposed to say, like, no twice and yes the 3rd time or something.
Yeah.
And just ask them, like, periodically. Like, ask them when shit's bad. Ask them when they're starting to feel a bit better. And if they're, like, feeling better and they're still like, yeah, I still want to die, though. It's like, okay, you really want
They showed it in that trailer, too. Like, I could not watch that trailer that Adrianne has sent me because, like I said, the movie that she had
What?
How to Die in Oregon, and in that trailer, you actually see a doctor ask for like, yeah, this is the doses you need to take. This is so and so and so. Are you sure you want to do this? You can change your mind at any time. He was like, no, this is what I want. Like I can die and I can be happy. And it was just like, damn, it almost broke me. Like I could not.
Yeah.
It was hard to get through that trailer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with Nick and Ganja. I don't think that it should be for any unless you're going to die anyway. I don't think that it should be for anyone that's just like, well, I'm depressed. Like you should get some sort of help.
I'm sorry, Alan. Hold on. Let me clarify before you go on. I don't mean for depressed people to do the terminally ill method. I think that should be for people with terminally illnesses and disabilities. But if you're depressive your whole life and you just aren't seeing the end of the tunnel, you've done therapy. I know a bunch of people who've actually, just couldn't handle it anymore and they, off themselves. I actually do support that. If you're not going to make it, it's your choice in your life. You have to control 100% of what you do and how you go out. That's how I feel.
That's the thing, Alan. Like, and it's kind of really sad, but just in my experience, that from people I know from that did suicide or tried to or attempt to, they don't like the people that doesn't even have terminal illness, the ones that just have depression. They don't announce it. Like they don't just say, "Yeah, I'm going to kill myself." They just do it. It's kind of like the whole I hate to bring up bad stuff, but it's kind of like with Robin Williams. Like he didn't announce that shit. He just did it. So yeah.
I know this from personal experience. People that are depressed don't often advertise it. Like they keep it to themselves. You don't even know until it's too late. But again, I still feel that in almost all these cases, they can get help to some degree. But somebody that's going to die anyway, there's no amount of therapy or pills that'll make them better. They're going to go. So that's I think it's the only time you should have assisted suicide, not when it's something that could be like the person's perfectly healthy except for their depression. I think they shouldn't have that option.